Hello and welcome back to Talk Forest TV. I'm just doing a few
Afternoon.
previews for Dan. Today I'm joined by Lee. Hello, Lee.
Good afternoon, Luke. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Good. I'm great. Thanks. Thank you.
So, for anybody that doesn't know, Lee is a Blackpool vlogger, aren't you, Lee?
hmm I am a Blackpool vlogger. Yes, I am indeed.
So, how would you say your season's going so far?
It started off worryingly. If I'm being honest, I thought, oh gosh, we've got the signs of doing everything right and getting beaten, and that's a sign of a team that's going down when all decisions kind of go against you. But since we got beat by Huddersfield 3-0, we've gone on a great run. We've scored 10 out of 12 points, and we've got ourselves above Preston, which is, for every Blackpool fan is great. And we're in the top half of the table, which is also great as well, because we're the bookies' favourites to go down. So far, so good.
That is actually really surprising that the bookies have made you favourites to go down,
Yeah, they
especially
did.
with
Yeah.
some of the other sides that are in the division that
Mm.
probably have been teetering with the drop for quite a few seasons now.
Yeah, I
Birmingham
think
being
it's
one of
just that
them.
sort of lazy journalism, isn't it? Where they get up in the playoffs, and that means that obviously you're the favourites to go back down again. But at that time, the run that Blackpool had last season, the first 11 games was pretty similar to kind of this season, where we didn't really get going, and then all of a sudden we went on an incredible run um, for like 30 odd matches. And we were, take those 30 matches, the last 30 odd matches, we were the informed team. I think over 33 games since our kind of run started, we were like top of the league by miles. And when we actually went into the playoffs, we were, head and shoulders above everybody else, and we just knew we were going up. You know what I mean? We breezed Oxford away 3-0 in the first leg away from home. Just got a draw at home, got us in the playoffs, and we had Lincoln to play. Even gave them a goal right in the first minute of the game, but came away winners, as Blackpool do from Wembley. So we've got Neil Critchley, who was a bit of a surprise appointment. We weren't, there's lots of managers linked with Blackpool. We were looking for a new manager, and nobody even heard of Neil Critchley, to be honest. It just was totally left field. I don't know where they found him or who came up with the idea, but he's similar to your manager. He was head coach at Liverpool Academy. So I'm not quite sure which one of them is the master and which one is the student of the two coaches, because your guy's come from Liverpool Academy as well, hasn't he, Steve Cooper? Is it, am I right in saying that?
Steve Cooper was the England under-17s manager
Right.
who won the World Cup, I believe, with them. And
Okay.
then,
Was he not at
um,
Liverpool Academy as well? Was he not with Liverpool? Pretty sure he was anyway. Could be wrong.
not that I know of,
No.
but
Okay. Well, it's two managers that seem to me to, from what I've heard from you guys, that he likes to play attacking football, high press football, and that's exactly the way that Critchley. So it should be a really good game. I would imagine it's two teams, going for it really, and be interesting to see how we get on. Right.
do you have any injury doubts for the weekend?
Yeah, we've got quite a few, unfortunately, from the Blackburn Rovers game. We lost Chris Maxwell, who's the goalkeeper. He's out with some sort of thigh injury. He was taken, he went off on Saturday against Blackburn Rovers. Saturday before, wasn't he? Saturday before, and I think he's out for 6 weeks, and he's the captain. We lost Lavery. Unfortunately, he's done his hamstring in the same game. He limped off as well, so he's not going to be back for this game as well. And he's the Shane Lavery, he's just phenomenal. So we won't have him, so that should please you. And Richard Keogh as well, who was playing centre half. You'll have heard of him. I think he was with Sheffield's.
Derby.
Oh, Derby. Yes, he was with Derby. So you probably won't like him at all. So, so he's a bit of a Marmite character. A lot of fans weren't too sure about him. He seems a little bit slow, and he looks a lot older than all the rest of the squad. You know what I mean? He looks, because it's such a young squad, and a few fans were on his back at the start, but a lot of the fans kind of got behind him, and they've been cheering everything he does, and it seems to have lifted him into playing a lot better. So he went off injured as well. So we're not quite sure. We've no idea what the team is going to be on Saturday.
So you're as much in the dark as Forest then, probably.
Yeah, and it's like the spine of your team as well, and it's it's your goalkeeper, your centre half, and your centre forward. It's pretty much right down the spine of the team. So, but Critchley has this philosophy of having players who can just come in. There's players in every position to cover every position. So we brought Stuart Moore on against Blackburn Rovers, and he pulled off a wonder save at the end. So he's a decent keeper. He's not a bad keeper. We've got centre halves to cover for Keogh, and of course we've got Jerry Yates back in, who got a goal on Saturday, and how good he was last season, and he hasn't really sparked yet. And I think it's a little bit because of Lavery's been getting all the plaudits. So I would imagine that Jerry Yates should start coming into form a bit now. Now he's got a goal. He had a penalty, but he hadn't scored a goal in open play. So I like Jerry Yates. So hopefully he's going to do okay.
Now, I'm not expecting there to be a clean sheet in this game for
No,
either side
no,
because you've got Gary Medine, who's pretty
he's a
big.
goal machine. Signed him on a free. Oi, oi. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's
Um,
not much of a goal machine at the moment, but he's a handful. That's all I can say about him. He's a constant handful.
and and when you look at the goal you scored, I think it was Jerry Yates' goal actually, where he heads it across to Jerry Yates.
Well, no, he missed it. He didn't head it across. He headed it. Well, he headed it okay. Actually, it came across. Big guy on the far post, running in, heads it straight down. It just the keeper got a boot to it, and it just bounced up in the air. And obviously, Yates was
Oh,
there
but
just on the touchline to nod it in. Yeah, keeper saved it.
I I couldn't really tell with the videos that I've watched
No,
from
the keeper saves it, and then it bounces
miles
back out.
out. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, the keeper gets a foot to it, I think, and it just bounces up perfect for Yates, doesn't it? Right. He's sniffing around this 6-yard box and scored a
but
sort of a headed goal.
yeah,
Couldn't really miss, really, to be honest. He just had to put it past the defender on the line, and there's tons of room in there. If there's just a defender there, he can only use his legs. You're going to score. But yeah, no, it was all from. But Medina and Yates, they did get a partnership going together last season, and until Medine got injured, and he never played really since Christmas. But before Christmas, they were really, they really were playing well together. So we'll see if they can rekindle that partnership up front.
I'm really sort of not looking forward to Forest coming against another big striker. I mean, we seem to just be reeling them off at the moment, game after
Right.
game.
Yeah, we up until Medine came back, we didn't have a big striker, so he'd have been all right, really. But he's yeah, it's just it is difficult against a big striker. I must admit, especially if they've got a partnership with another striker going together. So we'll see. But he's only just come back in on Saturday. Last Saturday was the first time that Gary Medina's actually done a full 90 minutes, so he eased him back in with a half. He did another half in like sort of the Lancashire Cup game. He played half in that, and he played about 50, maybe 60 minutes away at Hull. And obviously the plan on Saturday wasn't to have him on the whole match, but he had to stay on because we had 3 injuries go off, so we couldn't make any more substitutions. So he did a full 90 minutes, and he was flagging a bit. So we'll see.
Do you know much about the Forest squad?
Not really, if I'm being honest, Luke. I don't, I don't. I follow Blackpool, and that's it. You can tell me if you want who to look out for. Who are your main threats? Would you say for Forest at the moment, or are you not even sure at the moment? Because I suppose you're playing differently to how you were under Houghton. Are you playing differently?
Yes, we're playing majorly differently because
Right,
we've actually gone over the halfway line in games and scored goals, so
right,
major difference. But the the players I watch out for is Jed Spence, who's our right wing back. So we tend to play now 3-4-3 technically.
right,
So Jed Spence on the right, Maxwell on the left is brilliant. I mean, you probably couldn't say which one's better.
right.
And then we do, depending on the combination of who's fit and who's playing, we tend to go with Johnson, who is at Lincoln,
Okay,
and Zinkernagel, who's on loan from Watford,
okay,
behind Lewis Graben.
okay. Well, I saw that grabbing obviously because I watched Sunderland Till I Die, and I thought he looked a great player. When they lost him. think he moved on, didn't he? He was on loan, and I think
Yeah.
Grayson didn't play him or something in a game, and he threw his toys out the pram, didn't he? And he left. But he looked a really good, he looked a good player. Him, to be honest, the kind of player that I imagine would score against Blackpool. He's kind of got that look.
We've seen the best and the worst of Lewis Grabban.
Okay.
He scored 20 goals for us, which has taken a while for a striker to get up there. But under probably both Martin O'Neill and Chris Hughton, he didn't look like he was up for it or bothered.
Right.
Since Cooper's come in, he's looked.
He's up for it again.
Regain the rhythm, and I think it comes down to what Ryan Yates said after the Birmingham game. The players are 15 yards further forward under Steve Cooper than they were under Chris Hughton.
Right.
Which naturally is bringing us goals.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're more of an attacking threat. It's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm not, I'm wishing we were playing you like 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I'm sure you're kind of wishing you were playing Blackpool 5 or 6 weeks ago as well, because we both weren't doing so well at that time, both near the bottom of the league. So
I'll be honest,
it's not a good time for either of us to play each other. We're both coming into form, so it's going to be interesting to see.
I would actually rather us play now than play earlier on in the season, because I could only see a Blackpool win under Hughton because we didn't score goals.
Right, okay. Now you are scoring.
Well, the thing is, even I'm not going into the game under the impression that we're going to beat Blackpool. No. Because you just don't know when you're putting two very, very similar sides together.
Yeah, good approach. I think it is tough to, imagine how it's going to go, because it like I say, it could go either way. Could be a draw, two teams going at each other. It's going to be a good football game. I think it would be good for a neutral. I think I can safe to say that we will be a good game for a neutral. We just want to carry on our run and keep going. And really, Blackpool's main aim this season is to just finish top half. If we can. For most Blackpool fans, it was probably just to actually survive, just if we could just finish above the line and not go down. But the hope has gone up a little bit in Blackpool because of the way we're actually playing football, and we are playing, some fantastic stuff. But we're a bit of a one-half team at the moment. We were absolutely amazing against Blackburn Rovers first half, but second half, Blackburn Rovers came back at us, and to be honest with you, it was like the Alamo. You know what I mean? We were defending really deep and kicking it anywhere, and the last 20 minutes was really hell to watch. So it just depends on if they can just get a full 90 minutes together. Blackpool, we went away to Hull and we were winning 1-0, and they got a man sent off with just 10 minutes to go, and we managed to concede a goal against 10 men, trying to get a second. I think we were, where we probably could have just held onto the ball a little bit better and just held out for a 1-0, but it cost us 2 points. So, and we didn't play very well that second half. We played a lot better first than we did the second half. So we are at the moment a bit of a one-half team.
If we're taking the last two games, you could arguably say that's Forest as well, because the first half against Barnsley, we actually went in 1-0 down and ended up winning 3-1.
Yeah.
And then the Birmingham game, we did go in, I think, 2-0 up, but then the second half towards the end, it was mostly defending Lucas Jukovic.
Yeah, it's a name after saying it's like a tongue twister. You couldn't say that fast on repeat, could you?
No, I usually can say it, but then
Lucas Jukovic, is it? Lucas Jukovic?
Yeah, Jukovic.
Jukovic, yeah. So Lucas Jukovic. Yeah, cool name.
But the first 9 minutes, we really were kind of defending for our lives, and then we just score on the break. The 3-0 win doesn't quite tell the whole story of the game. We just kind of went forward and just capitalized on 3 chances.
Yeah, which is what Huddersfield, did to us. When we lost 3-0 to them, they just came from nowhere. They just got a bit of a breakaway goal from, we were on the attack and we lost it on the edge of the box and they just broke away and then scored a worldie in top bin. And then they had a corner, which we were just, I don't know, we fell asleep on, which was more or less 2 minutes after, just shell shocked from going one down. And then the third one, Marvin Epiteta, the defender, had the ball in the corner and he tried to clear it, hit their guy, bounced up in the air, straight across into the penalty area to just a Huddersfield player who was on his own. It's thank you very much, and scored. You're like, what?
Oh,
So it was just so odd.
I remember this Huddersfield game you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was in the midweek where I think.
Yes, it was. It was a midweek game. It was all Blackpool first half. I was interviewing people at half time, and everybody was predicting a Blackpool win. Couldn't see any other way. Huddersfield didn't seem to have turned up, and then they just scored like 3 goals in. Obviously, something was said at half time, but where they came from or how it happened, we just couldn't. Nobody in the ground could actually believe what they were watching because it was just so weird. But sometimes it just goes that way for you, doesn't it? You can suddenly just get a bit of a lucky goal and it spurs you on to another one, and the team you're playing fall apart and do something daft, and like I say, it can happen. So
I believe that fixture was the fixture before Forest Middlesbrough, where we had our last game under Houghton. So
right.
I think I tuned in to watch Blackpool the day before.
Right.
And yeah, it was a great week to watch football. Both Blackpool and Forest lost on the same week.
Yeah, it's not great.
And then both seem to have clicked into form after that.
Yeah. Weird, but anyway, we're both in form, so I'm looking forward to seeing a good game. To be honest, it's the first time I've never been to the City Ground. Never. There's always been something come up, whenever there's been a chance to go and watch Blackpool City, and of course, I've been a DJ for years, so the chances of me going to an away match on a Saturday I've always been doing weddings and stuff like that, so I've never really been able to get to Saturday away games. But I'm really looking forward to this one. We're coming down. Friday morning, we're going to be in Nottingham. We're going to be filming. We're going to be doing our football tourist guide. So we're spending a couple of days. Jane's got loads of stuff planned for us to do. And if I can keep her away from the beer festival, because she reviews beers and stuff. So, but no, it's I'm really looking forward to my time and we're staying at near the marina, the Premier Inn is at the marina. So it's going to be really good. So I'll do you a great video, do a great review of Nottingham. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Just don't expect too much from inside our ground.
No, it's kind of old now, isn't it? It's probably in its day it was magnificent, but it probably needs a bit of modernization, does it? I would think, with a bit of money, or is it?
It just needs totally taking out underneath and just redoing.
Does it?
I mean,
what behind the scenes are we talking about here?
Underneath the stands.
Yeah, so where all the refreshments and the snack bars and all that sort of thing is.
If you think of Hull's ground where they've got really long bars,
right?
Hull
was great.
I was very small and
right, okay,
kind of you queue forever.
I
mean, I don't exactly know how it's like in the away end, but if it's anything like the other side of the metal shutter in the home side, where me and my dad sit, yeah, you'll be waiting a while.
Well, we'll bear that in mind and probably take some snackage with us. I suppose that's the key, isn't it? Take some drinks or something with you.
Yeah.
So but we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to my first trip to Nottingham. So may the best team win.
Yes. Last 2 questions.
Oh, go on. Yep.
First one, score prediction.
Obviously, I'm a Blackpool fan, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Blackpool.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to put my prediction out early and say I'm going to go for 3-2 Forest.
Okay. Okay, it's going to be a good game then. Either way.
And my final question.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to find your videos and vlogs, where can they find them?
We're on YouTube. It's if you search YouTube Lee Charles TV, that's where we are. Jane does a blog as well, so she'll be writing a blog all about the weekend, reviewing the food and the pubs and the football and everything else. And she's at www.janestewart.co.uk if you want to read her blog. But I will actually post the videos up on Nottingham Forest forums, and you can all, you can. I'll probably, Facebook and stuff, and you can all see what we thought of Nottingham. I'm sure we'll do a good job and make you all proud of Nottingham. So we've even, we've done well on Hull, and they're loving it because we just tend to find good things to do in Nottingham. So I think you'll enjoy it.
Cool. All right, thank you, Lee, for coming on. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You're welcome.
And until next time on Talk Forest TV, we'll see you soon.
Take
Goodbye.
care. Thank you. Bye.